Hello and welcome. My name is Quiet Dad and you're watching another episode of the weekly patch notes. We've got a lot of news this week, so go ahead and hit that like button for me and let's get right into these new games. Starting off our interesting new releases is Mouse PI for Hire, an intriguing take on the FPS genre where you play as a mouse investigating in the 1930s noir cartoon style. I was personally super excited for this, so be on the lookout for a review and a stream soon. If not this week, it'll definitely be the next. Next up is what I believe to be Capcom's next hit IP, Pragmata, a third-person action adventure set in space. It has a very interesting combat system. Now, I've only played the demo build, but from what I've played, once you get the hang of that combat system, it's guaranteed to leave you wanting more of the game. I'm definitely going to need to get my hands on this, and I recommend you get a copy yourself. Finishing off our list with a little bit of a different game than I would normally go into. It's an anime-styled narrative adventure called Opus Prism Peak. Developed by Xenoverse Inc. and produced by Shueisha, this game boasts a very promising story and is making waves on Steam. It's a nice change of styles from the games that we see now and the graphics and how they look, because the graphics actually look good, but they're just a little bit different. So I suggest you give it a try. I'm definitely going to be giving it a try myself, and you'll also probably end up putting a review for it out too, so be on the lookout for that as well. Let's go ahead and jump into our upcoming hopefuls. So starting off that list is Vampire Crawlers. I was looking at this earlier and it's a very intriguing card battler. You just dungeon crawl through and battle enemies to build your deck, and I'm honestly not sure what brought me to this game. Normally not my cup of tea, but its 8-bit style and clear Castlevania inspo is just too mesmerizing to the eye. So I just stayed playing it to it. I had to, and I'm definitely gonna have to play it, especially if it's a game capturing my attention like that already. So I will be checking this out on April 21st, and I hope you give it a chance too. Next up is Infelion. Developed and produced by Don't Nod Entertainment, developers that made the game Vampire. I also made my first nostalgia load into that game, so please go check it out and leave a like. The game itself takes place on a frozen planet where you need to find your wounded partner. It promises to blend exploration, traversal, and stealth. From what I've seen, it's been doing a really good job of it so far. Just from the trailer alone, it had a very impressive cliff climbing section and a brief glimpse of that stealth aspect with some giant monster that was in the background. I am definitely intrigued. It has tipped the scales of wanting already, and I'm going to be picking that up when it launches on April 28th. If you're looking for something to play with some friends, check out the wild action-packed co-op shooter Far Far West. It tasks you and your allies with battling hordes of monsters while finishing missions and bounties. This looks like it's one of those super wacky sleeper hits, so I'm definitely going to have to pick this one up. It's just something to play with the guys. I would love to play this with my wife and see what she thinks about it, so I definitely recommend picking this up as it drops on April 28th. You know, we had to add it to the list. The highly anticipated 3v3 tag fighter Invincible Versus is set to arrive soon. I can't wait to get my hands on this game. It just looks so good and fun. I can't wait to see how all the character teams can be mixed up for different combos. It's just going to be something that captures my attention for a while. I can already tell. So be sure to pick that one up on April 30th. Finally, the Lord is here. Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred. The wait is almost over, ladies and gentlemen. We are only now 6 days out, so not much needs to be said about this gem other than my excitement to see a conclusion to this story. I really hope we get a hint of that next big bad, and I can't wait to see all the new loot. So be sure to claim your copy of LOH alongside the gear and the rest of the DLC on April 28th. Now let's go ahead and jump into some news. A Power World clone was removed from Steam recently as it was accused of blatantly stealing from games such as Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, and Power World, of course. The team itself had posted to social media and making fans aware, letting them know they've seen the criticism and will work on their game to improve it from the player perspective and make a better experience. But from what I've seen so far in terms of how the comments were, and yeah, I mean, what could you really improve? It seemed like, at least from what I'm reading, that it was just directly ripping from a lot of these games with no real direction to make it its own. So at that point, if you are trying to improve it, are you just now making an original game? Essentially, you're adding the things that you should have added in the first place that would have kind of stopped it's copying narratives, you know? I don't really understand why that wasn't on the front burner in the first place. If you wanted to put this out, was it just a clear cash grab or like what? Either way, you let me know in the comments what you think on that one, or if you played it and you actually liked it, please let me know. So I had to jump in during the editing phase here just because I hadn't seen what the game really looked like, but just looking up this trailer here for it, this is just blatant stealing. They stole costumes, they stole whole gameplay styles, looks of the world. It's just amazingly blatant, and I absolutely am okay with how this guy took off Steam. This is just an actual thievery of multiple games, and clearly just a way to make some money. Jumping into some Dragon Ball news, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is getting a huge update this summer, promising to redefine the game. It's supposed to feature 30 new characters, over 20 new customizations, 5 stage, and a new mode. The game is also adding something called Chain Blast, which allows you to follow up attacks with a blast from a tag partner upon switching, and Spark and Boost, which allows you to do more damage with super attacks. I can see those getting paired very well. I am kind of happy that they are doing this because I was really disappointed with Sparking Zero when it released, so it's cool to see an attempt at the game getting a revival going. Keeping with Dragon Ball news, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 has been announced. Bandai finally showed a nice early trailer for the new installment of the series. The trailer teased what I believe to be the new generic main Saiyan character, as well as Bulma, who looks to have built the Time Patrol into a booming city. No word yet on the exact date for release, but it has now been TBD for 2027 release. I'm really excited about that. I really enjoyed Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and I can't wait to see what they do in terms of like transformations, the missions, and just the styling of the games. Because the previous games, you kind of had to go to a kiosk and pick a mission out to do. I would love to see how if they plan on doing anything different from that. Although I will say, one thing I just really hope they do is add more forms for different races. I just think the Namekians and the Frieza race probably should have been done a little bit better, you know. Although I get it, they are going by forms in the show. There aren't really too many forms that Piccolo could display, but I don't know. I just want to see how they do it. Maybe if they could even do a what if and make their own forms. Maybe you can have your Frieza character go through the many different forms that Frieza himself does, you know. That would be awesome to see, or even coming up with some forms for the Namekians. Just something different to add to it. But we're going to go ahead and jump to this next story because it's pretty serious. Wrapping up our news today with our final story. Xbox says Game Pass is too expensive and they'll need a better value equation. Xbox staff received a memo from the new Xbox head, Asha Sharma, who stated that the Game Pass, in quotes, is too expensive, and that she will also, in quotes, work on a better value equation for the subscription service. I don't really have it myself, so I can't speak to it, but I do know it's raised quite a bit to $14.99 a month for the premium or $29.99 a month for the ultimate. Although I do believe that those numbers are expensive, especially for how our country is doing financially. But I also know that big companies aren't on our side on the contrast of it. So their ulterior motives are in question here for me. When I read about this, I actually got a little scared because, like, what does this company interpret as a better value equation? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they make you pay a price for the service itself and then another added fee for certain titles. For example, with Pragmata's release or Diablo's release, you already are paying that $14.99 or whatever for the service itself, but then you got to pay an extra $10, $5, $15 or whatever to play this new release that just dropped. It's a little bit weird and scary, but I guess since I can't see the future, I'm just gonna have to wait and see, and I would, let it be that for now. I would love to hear you guys' opinions and what you think about it. And there's no offense to them, I just don't see super rich Asha Sharma and the rest of the Xbox heads going, let's make something affordable for our citizens and consumers at once. I don't see them doing that. That's just not in the repertoire of the rich class. But either way, my name is Quiet Dad, and thank you for watching another episode of the weekly patch notes. Please check back each week for more reliable news. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you to do me that favor and like and subscribe so you know exactly when this drops. You have a great day, and I hope it all goes well. Peace.